Hey guys, we are almost ready to go on our trip that we've been telling you about. We are in the process of packing up. There is stuff everywhere in this living room. Bags, suitcases, you name it, backpacks. We are trying to narrow down all of our stuff. Neither of us are very good at packing, and so we have lots of stuff that has to become less stuff to go into our bags, or else we're not going to be allowed on the airplane. Whew, it's going crazy, and we're looking forward to this trip. It's going to be an awesome time. We're going with some great friends, and we're just excited for a project that we're working on. We'll let you know more about that as we go. We're going to catch some great photos, and hopefully you guys can kind of see a bit of where we go. So stay tuned, come with us, and we look forward to bringing you along. By the way, I forgot to mention, we've been pet sitting this week. This is Jack. This is Charles. I call him Charles, but his real name is Charlie. It should be stated, I'm not really a dog person, but it's been all right. Let's just pause for a minute and just check this out. All you Hamiltonians need to check out Hello Baked. Kayla brought this home for me. I think she brought it home for me. Kayla, did you bring this home for me?
Yeah.
There's just something about candy that is just delicious. And I mean, like, this kind of candy that you used to get when you were a kid, and it came in little brown paper bags. Hello Baked, you guys have great candy. But this is what's getting me through the hectic nature of trying to whittle down and pack my bags. I hate packing, but this candy is making it so much better.
So, as Jonathan said, he hates packing. I don't really enjoy packing. I have a hard time packing light. I don't know, some people can just pack like 12 items and have different outfits. We're going for about 10 days, ideally. We're flying on standby, so I don't know. But the idea is 10 days we're going to be there. Some days we're just going to be going out and around the city. Other days we're going to be hiking and then going out for dinner at night. So I've been packing this whole time and I almost have my suitcase full, and then I just realized there's some things that I had washed and had hung to dry specifically for this trip, and none of those things are in my suitcase. So now I need to reevaluate. Also, another thing is we're going to be going to church while we're there. We're going to be going out for dinner at a nice spot while we're there. Thank you.
Have a candy.
And go. Was that the creme brulee one? Yeah, so a lot of different circumstances. Also, it's spring in Ireland, so it's going to be anywhere from like 3 or 4 or 5 degrees Celsius all the way up to like 10 or 12 degrees Celsius, and windy and rainy and sunny and blah.
I've always liked those what's in your camera bag videos where people will post what they're taking with them on a trip, what kind of gear they're using. So I think we're gonna do kind of our version of that as well. Our main shooter, our main camera that we're using is going to be this guy right here. It is the Canon 80D. We picked this up maybe not quite a year ago, within the last 8 or 9 months. And it's kind of been our go-to shooter. So we've always, up until this past year, shot on older Nikon gear. And we jumped into the Canon pool this year, and so far really enjoying this camera. It's a great video camera. It's, you know, still somewhat of an entry-level camera, but the video quality that it takes doesn't shoot 4K, but really I'm not too concerned about 4K at this point. The 1080p quality is really good. The autofocus is great. We've got the 18 to 135 lens on it. It was kind of the upgraded kit lens. It's image stabilized. It's a good kind of all-around lens. That's our main shooter. The second camera we're taking, which you can't see right now because I'm videoing on it, is the Canon M5, which we just picked up recently as a kind of a B-cam, vlog cam type camera. Still basically an 80D, but in a mirrorless type body. So it's still got the great focusing system, same size sensor, the same megapixels. I think it's the same processor for the images. It might be one newer, one older in generation, but it's a great all-around camera. Plus it's small. We can throw it in a purse, we can throw it in a bag, and it's quite compact. With it we have, see this girl right here? She loves me. She's trying to give me another unicorn to eat.
No, don't eat him.
Oh, I'm not supposed to eat the candy unicorns. They are a rare treat, and so when you get candy unicorns, what do you do with them? You make Instavids, she's telling me. With the Canon M5, we picked it up secondhand, and it came with a couple lenses. The one lens that we've been using the most on it is this one right here, a 22mm f2.0 lens. It's kind of a pancake lens, so it's nice and small. It's got a nice wide aperture, so it lets in a fair amount of light. The lens that's on the camera is the standard kit lens. It's a 15 to 45 millimeter and an f3.5 to 5.6, or sorry, f3.5 to 6.3, which is not the best for low light. So I'm using it right beside these windows, which makes it decent. But if it was any darker in here, I'd probably throw on the 22. And then the other reason why we went with the Canon mirrorless instead of like a Sony mirrorless or something that does shoot 4K is the fact that we just wanted to stay in the Canon family. Canon has some great lenses, which we already have some of. So what we got with the camera as well is this guy, which is a adapter to go from a EF-M mount, which is what this mirrorless camera is, to a EF Canon mount. So now we can put on full frame or crop sensor lenses right onto this M5. It's worked great, and it's allowed us to use our Nifty 50, which is a lens we got with our 80D. And then we can also throw on that 18 to 135 that's image stabilized and has a great focusing motor for video. So we've used this M5 with our Canon EFS lenses and our EF lens, and they work great. So the other piece of gear that we're taking with us, which is pretty cool, we picked this up from a fellow YouTuber friend of ours, Dustin Abbott, which I will link his channel in the comments below. He does great gear reviews, so if you're into photo or video work, definitely recommend checking out his channel. It comes with a handle assembly so that you can, rather than hold it like a stick style gimbal, you can do a dual-handed grip. It also has a remote control that will mount to the actual handle assembly, and so you can remotely control the gimbal from that controller. So once we get on our trip, we'll have this all set up, and we'll make sure we take some video footage of us using it. The other thing that's kind of like top secret in here is we needed a spot to store our hard drive, so I basically cut a slot in the packaging foam for our hard drive. So now it's kind of protected by our hard case, out of the way. And plus you just kind of feel like James Bond because you've just got hidden stuff in a case that's black and has latches. All right, what else do we got? We've got, I went to Canadian Tire, which here in Canada is kind of like a all-around hardware store, and picked up these two waterproof plastic rugged cases. They're similar to the Pelican cases that you see, but they're about half of the price. I think they're about $9.99 a piece. Waterproof hard case. So what I wanted to do is kind of create like a memory bank where all of our memory cards, and we've got a USB stick and some stuff like that can go in here. And then they're protected, locked up tight. The other thing I made was a battery bank, so all of our spare batteries. So these are two batteries for the 80D, two spare batteries for the M5, and then these are the batteries for our Moza Air. Another thing that we picked up to help us with this project was a better way of recording audio. We ended up going with the Zoom H5 recorder, which I did some research on it, and there were some other options that I wanted to go, but I felt like it had the best kind of all-around features for what we needed. With the Zoom H5, there's basically the opportunity to have 2/4 inch or XLR inputs in the bottom, and then you have basically dual stereo microphones at the top, and also a input for a wired microphone or a powered microphone, like a small lavalier microphone, that can plug into that top microphone unit. So you can technically have 4 inputs coming into this thing, recording 4 separate tracks at the same time. You can take off the microphone capsule here, and Zoom does sell other accessories that you can plug into this thing, which is kind of another reason why I went with this. It was kind of future-proofing our microphone setup. We can buy boom mics, shotgun mics to put on the end of this. You can also buy another accessory to add an additional 2 XLR inputs onto it. The other reason why I like this is the line out coming out of the unit allows us to put a scratch audio track right to the camera to make it easier in post to sync up audio tracks. So I haven't played with this too much yet, just to try it out of the box, make sure everything was working. Should come in handy on our trip when we're trying to take some audio. You can actually put that H5 onto someone's back pocket or in their jacket pocket, and then wire in something like a little lavalier mic. This is just the Aperture brand Smart Lav, I believe is the name, and you can plug this directly into the unit, and you've kind of got a wireless lavalier set up at that point. And maybe one of the last pieces of gear that I'll show you, which is really quite new to us, is this guy right here. The DJI Mavic Air. We're pretty pumped about this little guy. We've only had this for about, I don't know, a week, and we've flown it a handful of times. It's still really new to us. We kind of went back and forth of whether or not we were going to buy one of these for this trip, and we just thought, you know what, we don't go to Ireland every day. I've been there once before, like 6 years ago. I don't know when we're ever going to get back there. We need to get some shots that are kind of unachievable just in your regular everyday, carrying a camera around. We're working on a video project that we want to try to make the best that we can make it and make it pretty special. So we thought, you know what, let's get this and see what kind of footage we can get from a different perspective, flying from the air. It's going with us. I really hope it comes home with us, because gets a little nervous when you take this 70, 80 meters up into the air and you kind of see it up there wondering, I really hope my phone doesn't crash or something goes wrong. But DJI has done an amazing job with this technology, and it's pretty robust. Not to say something can't go wrong, but flying it on the coast where the winds are high and all of that, just say a prayer that little DJI comes home with us. I did get DJI Care, which basically is like Apple Care. If we crash it, if we sink it, if we do anything to it, I think we can pay like $80 and get a new one. Only problem is you have to recover it and send it back in. So we're looking forward to what kind of footage this can capture. Alright guys, it is like 6 o'clock-ish, and we've got a flight to catch at 11:15 p.m. So we've got maybe 5 hours left before our flight takes off. We are about to exit the house, and what are we gonna do?
Snacks, we need snacks.
We need travel snacks. If there's one thing we know about, it's how to eat well and how to get good snacks. So we're gonna pick up some travel snacks and then head on over to our friend's house who we're traveling with, get ready to head out to the airport. Gotta be there a couple hours early, and who knows, maybe we'll see what kind of things we can get into at the airport.
I almost forgot my Fitbit.
Almost forgot our Fitbit. We would not know how many steps we took on this trip. How's that backpack?
It's stuck on my Fitbit.
There's nothing more annoying than a full backpack. It makes it so much harder to get on. Come on, you can do it.
No. Bye, house.
Bye, house. I'll see you soon. Don't forget something.
I have a backpack.
Let's get some snacks. Anything good?
I like these. They're
Is
like
it good?
They're like tiny Pop-Tarts. Wait. What are you doing?
It's fish.
We can't take this.
Why not?
Are you traveling with a freezer?
Eat it on the plane.
Oh. What have you got there?
Cola bottles.
We're packing for 5-year-olds.
One last meal. What'd you get?
Got red pepper and tomato soup.
I'm a sucker for a good California roll. So we are a few hours out still. We've got one last pickup to make. We forgot something when you realized it as we were going to get snacks. So fortunately where we bought snacks is the mall. And we found what we were looking for. What is it?
It's a mermaid tail, but it's like, you put your legs in. Look at this one.
That's gonna be Kayla on the plane.
Look at this one.
Success. Guys, we got like 4 hours to go till our flight. I want you to meet my friend. What's your name?
Alan.
Where are you going?
To Poppy and Chicken's house.
He's going to see his Poppy and Sugar. Are you excited?
Yeah.
Mommy, that smells good, popcorn.
I can smell some popcorn.
Hey, man.
We are just about to leave our friend's house where we've met up, and we're going to take our cars to the airport and find our airplane. So we've got our tickets. We're flying standby, so it was a little bit nerve-wracking trying to figure out if we had seats, but we do. We actually kind of lucked out with, I think, premium business class or something, and we're beside each other, so
Thank you, Jesus.
that works great. We were gonna film some more stuff here in the waiting area, but it kind of got a little crazy getting our tickets and all that, so we'll see you on the plane. We might pull our camera out and just kind of record on the plane a little bit, but if not, we'll see you in a new country in, I guess, 6 or 7 hours. I haven't really looked at the flight time. This girl back here keeps spilling her drink everywhere. All right, guys, we look forward to seeing you soon.